little while here, So uh, I have known Kyle since what was it, 2019 is when you started?
Yeah, when I first started. Yep.
Yeah. You were the second guy that was hired for Health Source Solutions. I was the first guy for the first 9 years, the only guy,
Hmm.
So you were the second guy here, So yeah, and quite the entrance you made here, already making splashes here, even in the first year, So yeah. So all right, we're just gonna hold on for about another minute here, just kind of let a few more people get on here. So if you guys want to maybe write something in the chat, maybe something that you're looking forward to in 2026 here, maybe it doesn't have to be a New Year's resolution, maybe just something, a project or a vacation or something you might be looking forward to in the chat. And we will be reading those as well. So hope you're having a good start to your new year, everyone. So I was just talking to Kelly, and we were just talking about how January seems to be like the slowest month of the year, just to kind of get it started here. So maybe it's just because it's the coldest and everybody's kind of bundled up and hibernating most of the time here. So
Yep. Yep.
so I think once we get past January, it starts to kind of pick up a little bit here. So but yeah. Kyle, what about you? You got anything you're really looking forward to in 2026 here, or?
No, I mean, I thing that I was looking forward to was kind of that crossover vacation from 2025 into 2026, and that
Yeah.
was my trip with my wife to the Florida Keys and getting to scuba dive after 5 years of not being able to.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, did they stay with the parents, or did you take them, or?
Nope, it was
Okay.
just an adult trip, so
Oh,
that was
absolutely.
nice. We haven't done something like that, like especially a kind of a flight or a kind of a long
Hmm.
distance travel like that in probably a year or two. So it was nice to, take a goodness 3 night, 4 day. I think it was kind of a
Yeah.
quick trip, but
Yeah. Yeah. Love Florida here, So I actually wish I could move there here, So, but yeah. All right. Well, I tell you what, how about we go ahead? Let's get this started here. All right. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be asking you some questions here and just kind of let everybody know, just kind of get to know you just a little bit more here. All right. So
sure.
I will go ahead, get this first question here. So my question is what was the inspiration or deciding factor that made you want to pursue the wellness industry?
Yeah, absolutely. And I had to really think back to college on this. It was kind of a moment of when one door closes, another one opens. So in college, I had some aspirations of being an athletic trainer, trying to stay within kind of the sports realm. But, I had a little enjoyment of fitness and whatnot. So how can I stay with sports, a sports team, etc.? Well, didn't get into the athletic training program, but that summer, when I was, kind of in that point of like, what am I going to do next, or how am I going to continue my college education? I got connected and was working with the former, at the time, the former Minnesota Wild strength and conditioning coach. His name's Kirk Olson. And he then, that summer, just while I was doing my summer part time job at a hockey training facility, he kind of opened my eyes to this world of strength and conditioning coaching, being or working with a team and facilitating their fitness, their recovery, all of that stuff. So it kind of sparked from there. And then with that kind of path or trajectory, then just kind of turned into something that I realized that I was just naturally good at, the aspect of engaging and connecting with people, motivating people, or bringing myself down to somebody else's level, and providing that empathy, sympathy, that relatability, whatever it might be, and it just kind of carried on from there. So yeah, here I am now.
So what do you think? Do you think Kirk was kind of the mentor maybe for you stepping into that, or?
More so the mentor for how I approach training and exercise programming. I think just through my experiences at the hockey training facility, so training kids in their hockey skills, their on ice, so their off ice skills, their on ice skills, and then eventually in the weight room, seeing their progression and whatnot kind of just helped to amplify. So yes, he was a mentor, but then through experiences, it started to gain more of this passion for helping others in their fitness goals, their fitness journey, their fitness endeavor, however you want to name it.
Yeah. Yeah. So was hockey your sport growing up here, you know?
It was between two. So yes, hockey was like my first primary, but I also did baseball. That was kind of like they were both equal for me. So when it came to
Mhm.
college, it was, do I want to maybe pursue and continue playing college baseball or do I want to play college hockey? And with my at the time in 2007, I was 5'8", 130 pounds. It was like, oh, maybe I'll have a better chance playing Division III baseball. And so I ended up playing, I think it ended up being like 3 years out of four, 3 years of college baseball.
What position you play?
Uh, I had to make a switch, just kind of being the like adaptable kind of person I
Yeah.
am. So
Yeah.
I was a catcher all throughout my baseball career up until college. And then there was a need for a spot as a second baseman during our inter squad scrimmages. So I just kind of, hey, I'll go out there and fill the spot, not thinking anything of it. And coach, you know, uh, coach had me there, then for the rest of my
Yeah.
college career. And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
played third base as well. But yeah, I turned into an infielder.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Me and you, same boat here. I was catcher, and I was a little too small for catcher, but I had the speed for the outfield, so they moved the outfield here. You know, so
Nice. All right.
yeah, yeah,
Neat.
absolutely. So, all right, okay. So, how did you actually get involved with the women's Olympic team?
Yeah. So I don't usually kind of talk about this or boast about it too much, but um, I, it was kind of luck, timing, and then connection with this Minnesota Wild strength coach, Kirk Olson. So yeah, he was the minority owner of this hockey training facility that I worked at. And between 2013 and then 2018, that's where I was working full time as a on and off ice coach, as well as in the lead strength and conditioning coach. So when Kirk wasn't there, I was the lead guy for the exercise piece. Well, he was connected with a former athlete, and she was a friend of his, but she got the job for the South Korean women's national team as their head coach. So I think she's technically Canadian born, but a a young lady, as the head coach for the South Korean women's national hockey team. So with that connection, the Korean team had a budget to like fly internationally and do some international training, and so she got connected with Kirk and came to the facility that I worked at. Excuse me. And so that's where there was two or three different 2 week travel or trips sessions that they were in. They came to our facility and I helped take them through, strength workouts while they were here in the US. There was one opportunity where I got to skate with those young women on that team. And then there was one other occasion that they came back prior to that. What was it? The 2018 Winter Olympics, 2016, the Pyeongchang
Mhm.
Winter Olympics. They came back one more time, and Kirk was unavailable for that session. So I got to lead them through their workouts and create, the little circuits that we did and whatnot. So yeah, I have kind of the nice resume or the, I don't know, I guess I don't know how to express it, but yeah, I got to work with a Olympic hockey team.
So now, did they ever say to you like how different the training was when they were in the United States as opposed to when they were in Korea? Is it different types or is it basically kind of all the
Oh,
same or
great
what?
question. Yeah, no, there wasn't much that was specifically shared. I think some of it is just our intensity may have been higher than what they were doing
Mm,
in their weight room. But specifically shared, you know, they didn't, yeah, there wasn't too much of a difference. Um, they might have just had different equipment that we had at their training
mhm.
facility versus, our hockey training facility.
Did the poundage like we go by pounds over here and they probably go by what do they go over there? Is it
Oh,
liters?
goodness. Yes,
Yeah,
kilograms. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes, that was one challenge. Other than having to really kind of slow my explaining down so that way one of the athletes, one of the hockey players who was also the translator, I had to kind of learn how to, say something, pause, and then let her translate to her team. I had to, yeah, also really try to use mental math to kind of help represent comparison with pounds to kilograms and kilograms to
Oh
pounds.
yeah. Yeah. Great learning experience though here,
And just
so
please don't quiz me on what is the
that
conversion because
you would see me on Wikipedia. It's like, what? I think, so
right.
yes. All right. What has been one of the most rewarding moments in your career to where you can say, hey, listen, that is exactly why I got into this business here?
Absolutely. And there's kind of a, I don't know, I love this question and it's also so difficult to
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
There's not one moment that stands out, and I think what carries that carries me on kind of day to day and the enjoyment and the excitement of what I do on a daily basis is the small moments, the many small moments that are, whether they're small wins or big wins for individuals that I'm coaching. So I had to think back and I thought of just a couple different ones. One of which was like my first full-time personal training gig at Lifetime Fitness. I essentially helped a gentleman increase his height by 1 to 2 inches. He had kind of that kyphotic spine posture. Just he
Yeah.
he was a desk worker,
Yeah.
like many of the individuals that we work with, and he had just that kind of rounded back. And so just with proper technique and consistent strength training, even just with kind of back rows,
Yeah.
horizontal back rows. Yeah, he he came back to me. I'll never forget this. He's like, yeah, I had my annual physical or some sort of doctor's appointment, and they took his height, and the doctor had to like re-record his height as increasing by 1 to 2 inches. Um, Another one would be thinking back to some of the kids, their off ice hockey skills. Uh, I'll never forget the excitement, the
Yeah.
joy, the amazement on this 10 I think he was about 10 years old. He was struggling lifting the puck, so shooting the puck from the ground or from the ice, I mean in a dry land facility, from the ground, to the upper corners of the net. And just with working with him and encouraging him, showing him different tricks and stuff of what he needed to do with his hands, his wrists, his arms, whatever it might be, that one time that he shot the puck and it went
Yeah.
up, and like it didn't it didn't go in the net and it didn't go over the net, but he simply just raised the puck, 18 inches, 20 inches off the ice. And he looks back at me just wide eyes, like he
Yeah.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So it's those kind of moments that just are the most rewarding. And
Yeah.
to give one more, just to kind of a more recent occurrence, working with a Medtronic, I'm going to call him an athlete, actually. Medtronic athlete needed some help with his workout programs as he prepared for excuse me, a 50K or an ultra marathon.
Yeah.
And this past September is when he had his event, and I followed up with him. And he told me that he shaved off 15 minutes off of his previous best time just with, his running workouts that he did on his own, but improving his strength workouts to better facilitate recovery, performance. He, yeah, he did 15 minutes better than what he, his current best or PR.
Yeah. That's something to get hard to get through to most runners. They just want to just run and they don't really realize that the cross training does them so many benefits there, you know.
Well, and
So
now with the hybrid athlete, people who
yeah,
want to have that cardiovascular fitness, but also want to be strong and have some muscle mass to them. It takes some fine tuning to make sure that because I know for this gentleman, he was battling soreness, and he would be sore after his leg days for 3 days every week, every time. And for me, as a strength and conditioning coach, or more of kind of that athlete aligned training, recovery is a big thing for me. Like
yeah,
when I train athletes, I want you to be able to go hard and build muscle, build strength, whatever it might be. But from, let's say, that hard Monday workout, 7 days later, coming back to it again, I want you to be at 100%. So that way you
yeah,
can put all that effort and quality and intention into those workouts. And so yeah, it was nice to for that, like I said, that gentleman to help him just redefine his workouts
yep,
and then that positive result or outcome for him.
yep. And that's probably something he'll take with him on into his other future endeavors there,
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, you
yeah,
know.
hopefully.
So all right, here we go. So how about, let's see, based on what you learned in the rink, what principles do you still use today when designing your exercise program and classes?
Yes, and a lot of if there's any of my class members that are participating today, they can probably attest to this. Uh, a lot of my workouts, especially the strength training ones, have probably a higher percentage or higher degree of posterior chain muscle training. So
Hmm.
hamstrings, glutes, your back muscles, and then the core, and not just like abs or like sit-ups and Russian twists and leg raises and stuff. More of that functional core, if you want to call it that. So things like planks and different exercises that forces you to engage, the front of your stomach as well as into then the side of your torso and into that lower back and glutes as well, where you are stabilizing your spine and pelvis simultaneously. One of the best, or one of my favorite exercises, kind of regarding that kind of stability and core work, is an exercise called Palif press. And that's a great one with like a resistance band where you're not focusing on rotating like you would maybe a Russian twist, but you're focusing on anti-rotation. So not letting your torso twist under that load or that tension of the resistance band. It's a super neat exercise, and I highly suggest it for anybody. Palif press, nice one to
Oh,
incorporate.
press.
But yeah,
Oh,
that's what you know those things that I did with my athletes, those posterior chain muscles, is what I really incorporate into now workouts for Medtronic employees, which kind of really can help benefit um, or even minimize things like low back. Especially since
oh
we're
yeah,
seated quite often, and a
yeah,
lot of people talk
yeah.
about the discomforts or the occasional or frequent low back pain, and sometimes just kind of dedicating a little bit more time to the glutes, the
Yeah,
core, those
yeah,
surrounding muscles, really can help reduce that or maybe minimize it.
absolutely, absolutely. That's why we do stretch breaks right there, you know. So
Right?
yeah. So all right, let's do one more question here. All right.
Okay.
And last question right here. What are some similarities and differences working with employee wellness versus training athletes?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the similarities, like I mentioned before, that posterior chain type training, the recovery aspect of things, it's different. Uh, the employees or individuals here might not be, you know, training for, their hockey season, that they're getting
Hmm.
paid for,
Yeah.
but you know, some of those. Uh, some of those aspects of developing strength, improving skeletal muscle, developing core strength, those are some of the crossover, the similarities. And then the differences. Yeah, this one was as I was thinking about this one prior to this interview today, was kind of challenging. But I came to the aspect of reality and practicality of time, and that's something that I think that I kind of have a superpower with. Maybe is kind of that relatability to
Yeah.
and empathy or sympathy towards what time really realistically looks like for each individual. Um, so like you think of a professional athlete, their job is to, in for like ice hockey, their job is hockey. They're supposed to
Yeah.
skate for, maybe 2 hours a day. They're supposed to train for 2 hours a day. They, whatever it might be, their time is dedicated for their sport. Whereas for us as everyday individuals, our time is work, our time is family, our time is maybe, other hobbies outside of exercise, if that's the case. Or, maybe you're a family caretaker and you have, other
Yeah.
obligations and responsibilities.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, not all of us have the time, for 1 to 2 hours dedicated for training. And I do recognize Isaac for this quite a bit. Kind of he helped me re realize, if that's even a word, that sometimes 15 minutes is all you have and is good enough. It's,
Absolutely.
so like within those 15 minutes, if you have good intention, good focus, good quality repetitions, you're challenging yourself. Let's say you have a strength goal and you're trying to push and move heavy weight to improve in that area, in that goal. um you can what you can accomplish in that 15-minute time frame can be just as effective in theory. I'll kind of pause a little bit, but it can be as effective as an hour-long training session.
Yeah.
Now, the caveat, because there's always, kind of that give and take with that. But the reality portion of it is, if you're only training for, 15 minutes, it might take you a little bit longer to get to that end result or that end goal. But,
Absolutely.
like that's what I would say with some of the differences that I've recognized here.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. Well, that is all the time that we actually have for today, though. But I just want to check the chat real quick. Does anybody actually have a question for Kyle? And also, um, that's what we are here for. So if anybody ever has any type of fitness or wellness question here, that's what we're here for. So do not ever hesitate to ask any of us here. So, but let's see if we got any.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything come through yet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got
Okay.
nothing over here in the
Unless
chat.
Okay.
Isaac is going to start making up questions as if employees are asking.
Yeah, it
So
looks like we got
Kyle,
one
what
right
animal
here.
would you? No, I'm just kidding. He'll get
Yeah,
us. All
yeah.
right,
Looks like we
listen.
got
I
one right
want to
here.
thank
Kyle, what is
every.
your spirit animal? What is your spirit animal? I think someone's asking me that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Goodness, you're silly.
No, we got
All right,
nothing.
listen. I want to thank everybody for joining us today here on. I like to call it Kyle's origin story here. So, but
That's clever.
yeah. So anyway, but anyway, once again, just to let everybody know here, that's what we're here for is to help you guys out here. So anytime you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact any of us, and you can always catch us in some sort of virtual flex break. Would you want to say something, Kyle?
Yes, a question just came in from Emily. If you only have 15 minutes for like best exercises, kind of compound exercises. So things like squats or bench presses, shoulder presses, back rows, just things that cover multiple muscle groups and if possible, multi joints as well.
Yeah.
And you could very well just choose 3 or 4 and kind of do them as a circuit. So doing a goblet squat followed by maybe some push-ups. If you have some then dumbbells, add in a back row for the traps and the lats, and then do a core exercise. Maybe that
Yeah.
palette press, right side and left side,
Yeah.
or even if it's
Yeah.
just a basic plank. That might be
Yeah.
kind of a good introductory kind of 15-minute workout, doing 3 to 4 sets of, I don't know, 10 to 12 repetitions. Kind of just depends on how fast you're moving and whatnot. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but
And
yeah,
what a lot of
compound.
people, go ahead,
I
Kyle.
was going to finish. Yeah, compound movements that cover multiple muscles and multi joints.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize when you're moving that fast, you only got 15 minutes. You're also getting a little cardio in as well here, you know. So it's kind of a
Bet.
two birds with one stone type of
You bet.
exercise here. So absolutely, absolutely. So all right. Well, once again, hey, listen, thanks for joining us here, and we will be back with another Coach's Corner. What is it, the second Monday of every month here?
Yep. So yeah,
All right.
February 9th.
So be on the lookout for what that next Coach's Corner is. You guys have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, everyone.
All right. See you, Kyle. Thanks again, man.